everyone. Hope you're all doing well and keeping occupied in your gardens. Got another job for the garden today. Now that we're getting further and further into summer, it's time to sow sweet corn, which is an amazing crop to grow at home. Much sweeter than anything you can ever buy because you can pick it and cook it immediately, and that's when you get the most amount of sugar out of it, and it's so sweet, it's delicious. So it's well worth growing some at home if you've got the space. So it's nice and easy to sow because they're nice big kernels, and we're going to use toilet roll tubes again for this one because they have quite deep roots, and the sweet corn don't really like their roots disturbed too much if you can help it. So when you're planting it out in the garden, to do it nice and gently, which is great for a toilet roll tube because you actually don't have to touch the roots at all, whereas a pot you'd have to tip it out the pot. With this you can plant the whole toilet roll tube and the cardboard just breaks down in the soil then, which is perfect. A really, really good way of doing sweet corn, and perfect if you haven't got plant pots as well. So you can do a bit of recycling in the garden, and they're nice and easy to fill. Just stand them up in the compost, push it down gently. It doesn't want to be packed in firm and solid like concrete, but just so there's no huge air gaps in there. And stand them up in a little tray of some kind. I've got a little plant seed tray, but you can use anything, a dish, a bowl, boxes that you get mushrooms and fruit in, those kind of plastic crates. Just pop a few holes in the bottom so any water can drain out. You can use anything really, the plants won't mind at all what it is. They're nice and quick to fill, fill them right up to the top, and as they go in, they all start to hold each other up when they're nice and full. And sweet corn is another crop that doesn't like the frosts and the colds and things, so we don't plant it out too early, which is why we don't sow it any earlier in the year, so it's not sitting there waiting to go out. Much like some of the beans and things, we sow them a bit later because they don't like it too cold. But we're rapidly moving through the seasons now. We've had some really warm weather and a bit of rain, which is good, because that helps anything that's growing outdoors, because we have had a long period of dry weather after a wet winter. So a bit of rain is a welcome sight for gardeners. Watering all your seeds. Maybe if you've got carrots growing outside, things like that, they will certainly have appreciated a bit of a drink. But the ground is getting nice and warm now. You can feel it when you touch the soil. The ground is much warmer than it would be just a few months ago, which is perfect. It means we're moving on in the seasons. So, nice big seeds, nice and easy to handle. And then we do a little hole. You can use a pencil or your finger, or even a plant label would do the job nicely, just to drop each seed into. I really want to go in 1 or 2 centimetres, and then 1 seed per toilet roll tube. And we get loads of seeds in a pack, so just choose how many you want to grow in your garden, and then perhaps share some seeds with somebody else if you've got too many. And when we plant them out in a block. So quite often when we sow seeds we do things in straight lines because it's easy to look after them and easy to weed around them. But sweet corn is pollinated by the wind rather than by bees or any other pollinating insects. So we plant them in a grid, so almost like this but with more space in between. So as the wind blows the pollen, it drops down onto all the other kernels below and pollinates everything. Whereas if you plant it in a straight line, I find the wind just takes all that pollen away and the plants don't get pollinated. So we'll look at that in a few weeks when it's ready to plant out these sweet corns. We'll have a look at how to do it and plant them in a nice big grid. So there's one last job to do, which is always to give them a label so we know what they are, and a good idea to pop the date on as well, so then you can see how long they've been sitting there, and you'll know if they're going to germinate soon. Label goes in, down the side of the toilet roll tube, and they're good to go. Give them water, and we'll come back to them in a few weeks when we're ready to start planting out. Happy gardening, everyone!